Hi, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Not Aspirational. I'm your host, Hannah Aaron Brown, and today I am joined by a super hot and super thrilling guest. She is an actor, comedian, celebrity impressionist, and the star and writer of the hit one-woman show, Nicole Travolta is Doing All Right. Everyone, please welcome Nicole Travolta.
If I could, how do I keep this? I really need to keep podcast intros as a point of affirmation because that's so nice.
You're like, wait, I'm actually so accomplished.
Wait, am I actually accomplishing something in my life? I'm so excited to be here with you.
I'm so honored to have you back. The last time you were here was in like 2021, I think.
It's crazy to even think because it doesn't even feel like we lived that time.
Literally, because before, when you were on last time, when we got off the call, you were like, you should join my acting class. Then we were in acting class together for like a year. And then I haven't been in that acting class for a while. You went on an international tour with your show. I mean, like, we've been busy since that period. And yet I feel like I've at the same time known you forever and also just met you.
I feel like the same thing. It's so funny because it's crazy to think that that's also how we met is online during that time.
Yes.
And then you joined the acting class and I'm also not so we've come sort of full circle and I'm so proud of you.
I'm so proud of you. I'm literally fangirling over you all the time. We met during our wig era. Like we were both like deep in wig work at that time.
Big wig era. I mean, I still have, it's so funny. I was away and I have my wigs, the wigs that I packed that I did nothing with because instead I watched the television show that we will talk about, The Summer I Turned Pretty. But I'm still, my wigs are still here. They're still my little babies.
Your children.
They're my child. They're my children.
Mine are retired. They're just sitting in my garage for like Halloween or a rainy day. I feel like the difference between us, I mean, like when it comes to the wigs is like, I think you feel like very empowered by the wigs. I felt like a dancing monkey in the wigs, so I couldn't do it.
Really? You don't look like a dancing monkey in the wigs. Do you know what it is, Hannah? Let me tell you. I'm going to get deep with you.
Please do.
I love the wigs because I love to not be myself. Like I find comfort and solace not being myself, which is something that I'm trying to work out in therapy, but you know what I mean.
100%. There was like at my marketing job, there was a client where I had to dress up in a hot dog suit and do videos for them. And I weirdly felt like, I mean, I did feel like a dancing monkey in the hot dog suit, but I also kind of felt like I could just tap into this alter ego of like, I am not Hannah right now. I am just like an unhinged woman dressed in a hot dog suit. And that was kind of fun.
In a hot dog suit that should actually be your I am an unhinged woman in a hot dog suit.
I know. And all my hosting footage now is just man on the street interviews of me as a hot dog. And my manager was like, so hear me out. That's like, it's super cute. Can we get something without the hot dog suit? And I was like, I don't have that right now.
And I don't want to offer that to you because now this is who I am.
I'm like, take it up with the hot dog. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. First, I want to ask you, because I follow you closely on Instagram. Everyone, you need to follow Nicole. Wait, Nicole, I will let you plug all your stuff at the end, but will you just tell people your Instagram handle right now?
Yes, it's Nicole Travolta. Very difficult to
Amazing.
Yeah, on Instagram and TikTok. But Instagram, I don't know. I'm going to let you talk first, but I want to like dissect how you feel about Instagram versus TikTok.
Oh my God, we should talk about that. Your Instagram stories though are like one of my favorite rides on the internet. Like I truly feel like I'm going for a ride where it's like 1 second you're like crying over The Summer I Turned Pretty, the next second you're like clubbing in Ibiza, and I like truly like I can't keep up, but I try, and it's so fucking fun. And you're one of the funniest people I follow, and I literally just like giggle all the time. But right now you're watching The Summer I Turned Pretty for the first time. The finale aired a week ago today when this comes out. And like, where are you at in the series at this point?
Hannah, this is because we're millennials, right?
Yeah.
So we fully, this is our Roman Empire. This is this type of thing. The fact that I haven't been watching this is absolutely absurd to me, and I don't know why, but I am very grateful to be binging it. So I am on season 3, episode 1. Jeremiah we just found out that he cheated on Belly. Okay, so here's the thing. Because I'm watching this at binging it, I'm starting to pick up on his tactics and his cycles, which is, sorry, but a typical man. He is what I like to call a life ruiner. Life ruiners make you question things like following your dreams, going to Paris. They take you on this whole journey of saying dumb one-liners of things like, you're the most beautiful room in the room, the most beautiful girl in the room, Belly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they drop these things on you to rope you in, and then they ruin your life. And I knew it about him. And it just literally, it's happening. I'll say something and then it happens. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe this is my growth in dating too, is that I'm starting to spot it with, I'm like, now this is like a lesson for us in dating, is that this is where it starts at this age and younger. You know
it's so true. And I do think it is like a red flag when like a guy puts you on a pedestal, but it's hard because it's like we all want to be like loved and appreciated, but there's a way to do it where it doesn't feel so like disingenuous and like slimy the way it does with Jeremiah, where it's like one of those doth protest too much things where it's like he's so obsessed with Belly where it's like, what are you compensating for? And it turns out it's because he cheated.
Exactly. And just the overcompensation to be that. I mean, I know they've known each other for forever, but there's something what happens is it becomes disingenuine because there's no way you can feel something like that quick. But as women, it does something in our brains where it makes us feel, if you've never been through it before, it makes us feel love and it makes us feel, and it's a huge red flag, you know? And so my heart, when I am not getting one thing done because I'm watching the show, but also I feel like maybe this is a good therapy for me.
No, it is. Honestly. I'm jealous that you're watching it for the first time. I'm jealous that you get to binge it because like I actually worked for a marketing agency that worked on the social campaign for season 1. So I remember seeing the screener like before it came out and being like, wait, that was incredible. Because I was like, yeah, I'll watch this show for work, whatever. And I watched it and I was like, holy fuck. And like waiting like a year between seasons was genuinely excruciating. So the fact that you just get to get on the ride and keep going,
it's so special, but it's also emotionally. I mean, yesterday morning, I finished season 1 and then I started season 2. Yeah, I finished season 2 yesterday.
Amazing.
But I started it first thing in the morning and my eyes were, it looked like I had slices of prune underneath my eyes because they were so dried out from waking up and being already, you know, you're like dehydrated. I'm having coffee and I'm ugly crying over Susanna and Laurel's friendship. I'm literally ugly crying.
It's horrible.
So horrible to have, like, to watch that first thing in the morning, and the emotional impact it has on you is crazy.
It's crazy. Also, aren't they all such good young actors? Like specifically Belly and Conrad, I think are so fucking good.
I think they're so good and they are locked into also, it doesn't feel that they're overdoing it with the age. You know how I love Gossip Girl, but I always was like, oh my God, these kids are like, do you know what I mean? They felt older all the time.
Yes.
They feel very age appropriate.
Yes.
Conrad is,
he literally,
like, for
he's
the
our dream
listeners,
boy.
I'm sticking my tongue out right now. Like, he looks like a Disney prince. He's so hot. He looks like a young Leo.
No, he truly does like tap into like a millennial, like 90s hot boy, like vibe that we all grew up with. Like that exact aesthetic of man was like all of our sexual awakening. And now as adult women, it's like, here we are again.
Oh, God.
Wait, did you hear he's on the Quinn app?
No.
Do you know what Quinn is?
Is it a dating app?
Not an ad. No, it's an erotica app where they tell you like erotic stories, but like it's as if they're talking to you where they're like, does that feel good when I do that? So he's telling an erotic story on the Quinn app.
Not me about to download the Quinn app.
Oh, okay, I downloaded it.
But okay, thank God, because this is why that we work, because this is unhinged.
Yeah, I was like, duh.
I had to Google his age to make sure that I was allowed to speak about him and this manager. And just so everyone knows, he is 27 years old. So
27.
it's fine. Is
Yeah.
he single? Do we know if he's single?
Apparently he's engaged. I know. You're like, does he want to date me, marry me? I know. You guys would be so cute.
He's engaged.
He's engaged, but like this is like such internet fodder. Like I almost feel bad bringing it up, but here I go. There's apparently like he's like standoffish with Lola Tung, who plays Belly, like when they do like press appearances. And the rumor is like his now fiance / long-term girlfriend is like, you have such good chemistry on the show. Like, can you not be all over her at like press events? And part of me wants to say like that's giving insecure. The other part of me is like, yeah, I would be the same way, if not worse. Like I would be devastated if I had to watch my boyfriend have that level of chemistry with another girl on TV and have the whole internet shipping them.
Yeah. I mean, I think because there's different levels of it, right? So the level of celebrity that they're in right now is a magnitude. I mean, the viralness of all of this. It's not just like you're watching, but think about all the most iconic things that before we had even something that was viral, like, okay, the Titanic, Rose and Jack, like,
right.
We are creating this in our head. Now you have a space where the internet is sort of creating it. I mean, I half get it. I mean, yeah, half it's giving, we want a strong woman to be, but it's tough. Like that would be tough to watch because their chemistry is absurd.
And the fan edits like are so good. Also, it's like, it reminds me as a millennial, like reminds me of when I used to watch like Dawson's Creek, and it's like, is Joey going to choose like Pacey or Dawson? Like I watched that air in real time at the age of like 8. Which, like, why was I watching that show as a literal child?
Me too.
My mom was like, oh, whatever. Like, anything that had teenagers in it, my mom's like, it's probably fine. And, like, cut to me watching, like, Cruel Intentions at the age of, like, 9.
We are the same person. But I mean, that's where I think we stem from all of this. Like, millennials are so specific as that we've been living in, like, a fantasy world because we grew up on things. I mean, I used to sneak out of when my dad would go to bed before my parents got divorced. I would be like 4 or 5 years old, sneaking out and laying on the couch with my mom. I'm watching the original Beverly Hills 90210. Like she would obviously would make me leave for certain parts, but I had a hard out. Like I was diehard for Brenda and Kelly Taylor because I wanted to be them. So like I had all the 90210 Barbie dolls. Like no one that age should even know what that show is.
Oh my God. My best friend in elementary school had the Dylan Ken doll. Yeah. He was so hot as a doll. Like I've never seen such a hot doll in my entire life.
Oh, I still am. It's such a funny rewatch. I don't like to rewatch that show is hilarious to me because it's so
the drama.
The drama of it is so heavy and very 90s. But I loved that show and Dylan McKay forever. I mean, this is where our problems start. See, you're married, you're locked in. I'm out here full delusional still, and I'm like, where is my Conrad? This is the problem. This is why there's girls single because we don't have a Conrad.
No, it's hard. I literally made a TikTok about this where I was like, the summer I turned pretty, like I've been like physically ill since it ended. Like I miss them. Like I was rewatching season 2, like in the background while I worked today, just because I was like, I miss these gorgeous children. Like, what are they up to? And I literally made a TikTok being like, the level of yearning in this show is like so hot, and that's why we like it. But it does fuck us up because in real life, you're like, I want the yearning, I want the drama, I want the chase. And it's like, no, we don't. Like shit should be stable. If a guy says he wants to date you, he should just date you without all the drama. Which, like, of course, in the show, they're kids, and Susanna passed away. Like that's neither here nor there. I'm saying in real life, it shouldn't be that messy. In my opinion.
I totally agree with you. I think that it shouldn't. And I've been through messes, and you get addicted to like
yes.
But it turns out in the end it never ends well. I said this yesterday on Instagram. I said, because people were like, are you team Conrad or are you team Jeremiah? But at the time I was feeling a little bit mad about Conrad because I felt that he had slept with her and then he got it all in his feet, like, and then he was gone. And I was like, oh my God, this typical man. But when you think about it, my idols growing up, so we have Beverly Hills 90210, right? We have Dawson's Creek. We have all these things, but really and truly who I really like bowed down to was people or characters like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, who turned a hideous beast back into a prince. So our vision is very warped, and a lot of our problems started with Disney cartoons.
It's true. She's like, I can fix him.
And you can't fix him.
You can't.
Not even, no, not a, but in Disney life, you can.
You can. Oh, God, that's so true. We're all just a bunch of Delulu queens now.
We sure are.
But being Delulu is kind of fun. You know what I mean? So, since the last time you were on the show, you had your international one-woman show, and it's called Nicole Travolta is Doing All Right, of course. And the tagline is bad with money, great with the spray gun. And it's just been so inspiring to see you, like, since we did acting together, like, make opportunities for yourself and, like, I don't know, just build on the things they are already good at, like writing and acting and comedy and all that stuff. And I kind of just want to, like, hear more about the show and, like, how it came to be and all of the above.
Of course. I thank you so much for saying that. I mean, as you know, I think it's so, we're living in such a world in this industry where I feel very fortunate that I had success doing in this industry on television and all that when the industry was more in line with how it used to be, where you would, you'd get in your car, you drive to the audition, your personality would get to show off in a room. We weren't beholden to this box of self-taping and things like that. And when COVID happened, how we met and everything was just sort of falling apart, everyone was sort of taking to the internet. So that's when I started really getting back into characters and remembering that I had really lost touch, or I figured out that I lost touch with that really weird part of myself. And so I had, this whole life that I had lived prior to this, that I felt that I had finally healed enough to the point where I would feel comfortable with telling it. But I was at the Groundlings and I had been sort of trying to get this going in all these different ways, and it wasn't happening. But then I met my co-writer and director at the time. Her name is Lauren Burns, and she was one of the directors at the Groundlings, and she really got me and understood me. And I told her the story, and she was like, you have to tell this. No one has, like, I don't feel like this is something that people talk about, but, and I think it would be really empowering for you. And so we wrote it in 2022, and then I opened it at the Groundlings in 2023, and I thought I was doing 2 shows and that's it. And then it just sort of took off. I'm so, and beyond gratitude, it's been one of the most amazing, but also cathartic times of my life, because it's so therapeutic to stand up there and do the show and feel like I'm connecting with people, and especially men and women, but the women in the audience, because the show deals with familial trauma, addiction. For me, it was a severe shopping addiction and material things sort of masking my inner demons. Divorce, and then sort of everything falling apart and having to rework your whole life and really realize what was actually going on. But in the interim of that, where the comedy lies, is that I had to sort of hit rock bottom. I was on that television show. I was doing all of those things. And then I had to take a job as a spray tanner, a celebrity spray tanner, to sort of get myself out of that whole situation. And so it takes you on the whole journey. But really what it's about is me, looking for love in every place other than where I should be looking, which is loving myself. And so it's interesting, because now that I'm sort of in this phase of it where it's been continuing and sort of evolving, I realize that it's not just the shopping and the material things, but it's sort of played out in other areas of my life, in different relationships, in business relationships, and my self-worth. So it's been such an amazing journey that I'm very grateful. So that's kind of the show in a nutshell.
Oh, it's so fucking cool. I mean, yeah, God, so much I want to respond to. I feel like, first of all, I just want to, like, commend you and Lauren for, like, like for you feeling comfortable enough with her and vulnerable enough to like tell your story and then her being like, wait, this is something special. Let's actually do something with it. Because I feel like it's, you know how like guys will get drunk and be like, we should open a bar together. Like I feel like in LA, it's like everyone and their friends are like, oh my God, that's a great idea. We should do that. And then there's just like a million ideas that never see the light of day. And so like it was so inspiring, like as a friend of yours who follows you on social media to see this like continue to like, yeah, like you said, like evolve and grow. And like then you're at Edinburgh Fringe and you've been taking it everywhere. And it's just like so honestly so inspiring to watch.
Thank you so much. You know how much I love you and adore you. And I think that that's the other thing that I've always loved about talking when you and I will get on something or chat about something is because I do agree with you that in LA, especially, there's a lot of these ideas and people talk. They don't help each other. They don't support each other. And even though, you know, I think a lot of support now comes from like boosting your friends or on social media or hyping them up. And it's like, even though we miss things, whatever, we don't connect all the time, that like from afar, energetically, I am just so we've always been so supportive of each other, which I think is there's no competition, there's no nothing. It's just very loving and also just supportive of one another, which I think is rare in this industry, and we need more of it.
I agree. It's very special. I've always like valued our connection as comedy girlies. I also think it's like, I don't know about you, but I think it's interesting too, like when you're like a girly in comedy, and I'm going to say it, a hot girl in comedy. I think,
are we hot girls in comedy?
Are we hot girls in comedy? I'm going to say it. I feel like sometimes it's hard to like, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm like, where do I fit? Because sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to do sketch comedy. So like, I don't want to go the groundlings route. But like sometimes when I'm in stand-up spaces, I feel like I'm not like taken seriously over there because it's usually a bunch of dudes that like don't even want to think I'm funny. And like, yeah, just kind of figuring out like where you fit in, and also having this idea of like what being like a quote successful woman in comedy even looks like. And like, I don't know, like I feel like it's so easy to be like, oh, well, to be a successful woman in comedy, I have to hit these like really difficult like benchmarks, like being on SNL or like having this amount of followers or like being with this agency or whatever, as opposed to being like, I get to define what being a woman in comedy means for myself. And I'm going to like carve out a space where I can make it what I want to be myself, which I think is what you've done with the show, you know?
I thank you. I thank you. And I literally was thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, you've defined it for yourself. And I think that people want to put us into these boxes, right? Oh, you're in the SNL box. Oh, you're in the stand-up box. Or you're in this like, Hannah, you are doing it, which is why I think you're such a joy to watch, is because you've created your own brand. And your own brand is your definition of comedy. And the beauty of all this, even though I feel sometimes very old school in the way that I think, especially because of you go through the industry, you go to these very specific things. Like you go to the audition, you book the audition, you do this, you do that. But that's not the case anymore. And the beauty of this is that you have capitalized on a platform that has given you success in doing what you think is funny and what you feel is funny. And when you have a good time, everyone else has a good time.
So real.
And when you're authentic to yourself and not doing what other people are telling you that they think is right, then I think that you're in the best place of it all, because we don't, the most amazing place to me that I think you could be in is having ownership of what you're doing. You know? You're not waiting for the phone to ring, because you're waking up and you're doing 16 different things, and then you're doing 16 different things the next day. Do you know what I mean?
100%. God, this hype up is like really giving me life. Thank you so much for
this.
The
Is going to be of course. This is like good for all the girls.
It is. It is for it truly, because I think it's like so easy to. I don't know if this will resonate with you, but like I've also struggled with like, oh well, like a woman in comedy looks this kind of way, and like I don't mean like physically, but I will be like, oh, like I'm not like hipstery enough to be like a woman in comedy, or like I don't wear like a vest as a top, or like I like spray tans, so like I can't be taken seriously as a woman in comedy. But I think it is just like being funny is being funny, and authenticity is like the key because I feel like anytime I've done anything creative with this need for like someone to validate me or tell me it's good or like for it to get me somewhere, I never get anywhere as opposed to being like, well, I just believe in this and I'm just vibing and having the best fucking time, as like cliche as it sounds.
Totally. But I also think when I think about the people that I love the most in comedy is that there are certain comedians that I'm like obsessed with, like Ali Wong. I absolutely live and die for because she is so authentic and she says like the dirtiest things. Like it's a ride watching her, but she commits to it and she owns it. But on the other hand, like look at people who are our favorite comedy girls from, you know, like Jennifer Aniston and, you know, even Reese Witherspoon.
So true.
Or, you know, and these girls are stunning girls that have great comedic timing. But again, I think living in LA or New York is that you can't be funny if you are, you know, if you're not hipster, you're not this enough or you're not that
right.
enough. It's like, you don't get to tell us what is funny because we're not in this like core group. I think that there's a whole other expansion of it. I don't know, if you will.
No, 100%. It's also been like weird. Like, I mean, you've been in LA for how long now?
I was born here. And then I lived in Florida for a little bit and then I came back. So I've now been back in LA for oh my God. Wait, hold on. 10, 18 years.
So you've seen LA through like many seasons.
Yeah, 17, I'm like maybe getting about 16 and 18 years. Yeah. I mean, all of them. Like, so you're talking when I was a kid and then coming back here, like I was in here when it was prime. Like, I auditioned for Gossip Girl and Pretty Little. Like that was the time where I was.
Oh, what a crazy time.
Right. So as an actor, I saw it through all that stuff, but also from a party standpoint, you know, we used to be able to go out and you'd be brushing shoulders with, you know, Paris Hilton and Lionel Richie in the same night, but that doesn't happen anymore because of our phones. You know what I
mean? I miss it and I wasn't even there.
When did you come here?
I came here in May of 2018. So like all of that was like just dying out like as I arrived.
Yeah.
And I don't think LA, while I think it's like a gorgeous city with amazing culture, I don't think the going out party culture ever bounced back. And that makes me sad.
Yeah, because every now and then we want to, you know, literally you just said I'm flying. I have to leave to party, but maybe that's a good thing. But also I feel the same way. It's not the same here as it used to be. That never came back. So now you find the joys are going out to great dinners and getting a drink somewhere, which is fine and fun, but it's definitely not the same.
But I'm like, sometimes I just want to dress like a fucking whore and like grind up on anyone and everyone. I don't fucking care.
Listen, is there not a place, maybe someone is going to listen to this and be like, you guys, there is a warehouse party that is 10 out of 10 downtown and you and I are going to dress up like little sluts.
Yes.
We're going to go and we're going to have the time of our lives and grind up on people.
We need to. Like, give me a bandage dress. Like, I'm fucking ready. Like, I want to go.
Wait, yeah, like an Hervé Leger back in the day.
I also never felt more beautiful than in like a stacked almond toe patent leather pump.
Girl,
like
heart beats.
Nothing will ever make me feel sexier. And I think they're overdue for a comeback, to be honest.
I think it's time. Someone is going to give us the inside tip to where we are going out, and then we're going to go out together, and then we'll talk about it the next day.
We have to. And you know what? I have to say something that I really love and value about our friendship is like there is such thing as like a we should do that friend in like a by that I mean like friends where you see them and you're like we should do that and then you like actually don't want to do it and you never do. We are actually true we should do that friends where it's not that we don't want to go out or hang out. We just never can figure it out.
We literally,
we've been doing this for 4 years.
Also, by the way, Hannah, we also say to each other every time we're like, it's not because we don't want to.
Literally every time.
aren't making it happen.
Okay, wait. I actually do want to ask you about this with your show because I suck at admin. Like, I truly think if I could do admin, like my career might be in a different place. How did you like get your shit together enough to like learn? What? Nicole's Zoom just dramatically zoomed out and then back in.
Something is happening with the Zoom. Okay, we're just gonna have to go with that. That
It
was
was
crazy.
so cinematic. I can't cut that out. It was too funny.
So keep it.
But I wouldn't even know how to like look up the rules for like how to enter into like a festival or like figure out the logistics of like not only writing a show and putting it up, but then like bringing it to other locations.
That has been, I will tell you that has tested me more than anything. And it's one of the hard, I say this, people are going to be like, this girl is an idiot. I say it's one of the hardest things because for me, it was especially fringe. If you ever did have a show or you went, like I can give you a handbook now, but let me tell you, shit is not for the weak. Like it is just doing the admin alone to get yourself there. And you have to be so flexible with your emotions and all the things because it's not perfect. But it's hard. It's really difficult. And to do it all and then be also then like, oh, well, now I have to perform. So like you're up and doing all this stuff and answering questions and doing this and that. And then you have to perform. It's exhausting because the show is also emotionally draining.
Yeah.
So it's all ties in, but no, that's been my biggest challenge. And then that's why if anything, it's not unfortunately because it was for a reason, but why my like everything sort of, I think, kind of with social media, I was like, I can't even fathom to put on a wig right now because I'm so tired.
That's when you know.
Do it. And you're like, the creativity sort of is like in this sort of abyss flailing around because you just, I feel like it was me on emails and me researching theaters and me doing this and me doing that. So it's hard.
Oh my God. It's literally so intense. Like I think there are some actors who are fortunate enough to also have like producer brain. I'm only creative. I like would rather eat glass than figure out like logistics and do any sort of admin. My brain, it's like doing math. Like in my brain, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
get it.
It's hard. I mean, I think you 100% could do it. And I believe that, but I understand that feeling of like, you're like, I would rather eat glass than ever have to do this again have to do this because it is so exhausting.
Yeah.
But you can do it. It's just, it's not, it takes the creativity, but also there's something to be said about it being then you're like, oh, I like fully did this, was like
totally.
I don't know how you figure out how to put a podcast up. Like I would like to ask you the same question that do you edit this yourself? How do you even do this?
I do edit it myself. And sometimes I'm like, kill me. Throw me out a window. Yeah.
You get it. So that's because I would feel the same thing about doing this, that I would be like, how did she get this up? How did she figure this out? So similar.
So it's one of those things where you're like, well, I guess I have no choice but to do it, but I don't need to like it. And I don't like it right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, in a dream world, it's like, I would have like an engineer who like, I just send this to, and then they just and do all the like bullshit, like editing and difficult stuff for me. And I just get to be like the girl behind the mic. And like, thank you. I envy anyone who gets to not put on a producer hat and just wear their creative hat. Like truly, no matter what you're doing, whether it's theater, podcasting, whatever, I'm just like, oh man, they're really doing it.
You're doing it though. That's like, it's very though, did you watch the Alex Cooper documentary?
I did.
Okay. I think she's a powerhouse. And so, she said she's doing the exact same thing you did though, is that she was doing it all. So like your producer's coming.
Oh, thanks, Queen. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask you this actually. This is a good natural segue. So I've been thinking about this idea of like when you're creative and you want to make your own stuff, which I think is like so exciting, like what you were saying about the time that we're kind of in. I feel like there's this idea that like you need like a large group of people to support you. And I think the older I get, tell me what you think of this. I don't think you need a community. of like 30 people, I think you need like a team of like 1 to 2. Like, I don't think you need that many people. I think it's like one of those things where it's like, I have so many creative friends. I want to support them in every way I can, whether that means going to the show, sharing a thing, liking their post, just sending them a text being like, break legs. But I do think it can easily become a too many cooks in the kitchen thing, making your own stuff when you have too many people involved. I think you just need like one really fucking good collaborator that's going to be like, I know you don't want to write today. We're meeting up and writing. What do you think?
I totally agree with you. And I think that I feel like I've learned a few lessons about too many cooks in the kitchen. I think that now I feel very protective of my brand and my show. And I think you should too. That I think essentially that you are the brand of Hannah, right? So this is your business. Same for me. Everyone should be working, and I mean this in a way of not like, oh, you're the boss and you're delegate, not in an asshole way, but everyone should be working underneath you. And everyone should have the people that you have. I don't think you need, at this point, 30 people or whatever, like this whole crazy team, where I think you do. You have, if you had the ability, you would have someone helping you with your podcast, and then maybe someone helping you with some social stuff or whatever. And then maybe you would have some sort of writing collab. You know what I mean? But when you have it too big, then it becomes way too messy. And everyone is trying. And I've had a situation where I felt that the lines got blurred. And suddenly I felt like I was working for this person.
Totally.
But they work for me. But I was feeling like I was like scared and anxiety, and I'm like, how is money coming out of my show? I'm not getting it, but I somehow feel like I'm not in the driver's seat, and I think that is something we have to be super careful about. Like, you know what I mean?
Completely. No, completely. Yeah, I agree. Especially when like with your show, it's like that's your life, that's your story. Like you're the one getting up there and doing it. And so it's like, yeah, I think and even if it wasn't your story and it was like a work of fiction, I do think you have to be protective and intentional with the people you collaborate with.
Yes.
And it is one of those things where unfortunately it is trial and error. It's kind of like when you're in college and you want to like live with your best friend and then you realize your best friend is like a shitty roommate and you're like, damn, I really thought this was going to work. And so sometimes you don't realize until you're already like collaborating with someone and then you're like, damn, I don't know how to take a step back from this, but I know that I need to. Like, that icky feeling of being like this working relationship like is not working.
Yes.
But it's like, yeah, it's hard to navigate. And I think it's so easy when you get like a bunch of creatives in a room for it to get very like kumbaya, like, yeah, and like, let's all support each other and we're all there for each other. And everyone fucking says that. But it's also like, if you were to really look at people's behavior, everyone says that. They're like, oh my God, like come to my show and I'll go to yours. And it's like, you've never even like liked my post on Instagram. You're not going to my show. Like, and so people get very grabby with your time and your attention. And I'm like, okay, but I'm going to notice if you're constantly asking me to support your creative projects and you've never once supported mine, even in like the most low lift way possible.
I think it's I mean, it's not hilarious. It's actually sad because we do live in that sort of time where it's so easy to support people. You know what I mean? It's so easy that, especially with people on social media and stuff, is that what people don't realize is that this is if you know that someone that you love and you care for and you're friends with are pushing something or that they took the time to do all this, it takes 2 seconds. And again, sometimes I am scrolling into the abyss and I'll miss something. But I always tell people, I'm like, if you want me to repost something or whatever, and I'm not actively seeing, like, please just ask, like, because we miss things. But I know that there are actively people that just don't. Which is literally like you opening a store and me not coming in to support you, to support your business. But the people they laugh at this. They don't think it's real. They think it's silly. They don't think that it makes a difference to support people, which is why I'm sure as you've grown and I know that I've grown, is that some of these people that you'll find, that come into your DMs that you don't know, that have, for me, showed up at my show. I'm sure for you listening to your podcast or come to stand up, whatever it is that it is, I am so to my knees grateful for them.
Oh, same.
Knees. Because they help a lot of times. They're supporting you through and connecting with you sometimes more than the people in your actual life. So,
I know.
What I said.
They're the ones like sharing your post with a friend being like, follow this girl. She's so great. Yes. I love her videos. Like it really is like, I sometimes feel so cheesy when I message people back and I'm like, oh my God, you made my day. And it's like, I can't even put into words how grateful I am for the support of people on the internet who like take the time.
Hannah, I do the same thing and I feel the same way. I'm like, I'm sure people probably think I'm one flew over the cuckoo's nest. I'm just like, thank you so much. But it really does. Like I'm so the gratitude because I always get I don't know if you've ever feel like this, but especially on TikTok, like TikTok is very humbling to post on.
Yeah.
Because you're either getting like you could get 100,000 views and then the next day they're like, no, bitch, you get 200 a day.
It's so embarrassing.
So, but I've watched a few things and I've actually, the resonating, I was like, you know what? You're right. And I know it's kind of mind over matter and you have to kind of switch your brain power to think like this. But I literally was like, someone said, and I'm sure you've seen this before, if I had 200 people in a room watching my show, that's a sellout.
That's so true.
So why is it the internet, though, has us all fucked up being like, it's not at least 10,000. I'm mortified.
No, that's so true. And I made a rule with myself long ago where I was like, I'm never going to take a video down because the views aren't what I want them to be. Like, I'm just going to let it ride.
Don't. I think that it's because all of the sudden, I'm sure you've seen this. You blew up on TikTok.
Oh my God,
and
thanks.
You blew up. And I'm sure you probably saw that all of those other videos then had all the views that you wanted once you blew up.
Well, and it's like, I also never took down my early COVID videos where like, I didn't know how to use the app. My videos were like so cringy and bad, but I didn't take them down because I was also like, but I want someone to be able to look at my page and go back and be like, whoa, that was a weird era. She had no idea what the fuck she was doing. Because I also think that's inspiring for me who admires other people to go back and be like, oh, there was a time where they were figuring something out. Like even people that I think are like Benny Drama, who like I truly think is one of the best comedic geniuses out there.
So great.
There was a point where he was like new at his shit. And like, look at him now.
And all it is he's so talented and so funny. But I think also it's like he continued to find his voice.
Yeah. Throughout
this whole thing. He just was consistent.
Yeah.
And he's talented. And look at him now. I totally agree. I think he's unbelievably hilarious. So funny sitting here, I think, talking like this because I just feel between the two of us that compared to a few years ago, the growth, because Hannah, I don't know that we would be having the same conversation the way that we're like, to me, this is like two very strong girls talking. And I think that the years before were us figuring it out. I don't know that. I tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't know 100% that you would be saying to me, I wouldn't have taken those videos down a couple years ago.
No, Nicole, I literally like used to call you crying after class being like, everyone thinks I'm bad and no one wants me to be their scene partner. Like
it's a whole different, it's really special.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I'm proud of us.
Me too.
I'm honored. Well, also, I think that's another thing that's a powerful lesson, I think, for everyone and anyone listening to learn is like, also like something might like look shiny and good on paper, but it might just not be the right fit for you. And you have to walk away from that. Like that particular class I know has been like invaluable for a lot of other people in my life that I think are really talented, that I really respect. But for me, like I just mentally could not get there in that environment. And I like needed to be like, okay, I need to trust my own intuition enough to know that like, there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with this. This isn't working together and I need to walk away. And I don't think I'm like, now I can do a self-tape and actually have fun with it. But at that time I was like actively getting worse because I was like so cripplingly insecure, and the imposter syndrome was so loud.
It's and even that decision, because I think also we're programmed to feel like that's one specific place or that one
Yeah.
specific class is going to be the thing that's going to like swing open some sort of door for you or whatever. But really, there's the Zoom again. It was so to see this is so funny. Is that it brought you to this whole other
Right.
level which you're thriving in, and now I feel like you doing a self tape for you is probably like throw something up against the wall, see what sticks, see what doesn't, and you don't
Right.
have such a deep attachment to, which is harmful for our mental health anyways,
It's horrible.
because of this industry is bad for your mental health.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's like the bigger stuff that we can't control is hard enough. If you can control who you're creatively collaborating with, what your process looks like, what you're doing in your day to day, like that needs to feel good because you can't control any of this. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, exactly. I think to me, you did what you did was strength. It just probably didn't feel that way in while it was happening. Is that because you walked away, which a lot of people would stay in something like that for a long time thinking that it would, get better. But
Well, hello. You left your marriage, didn't work out.
I did.
Sometimes you got to walk away, honey.
I'm a divorcee, baby. And so
That's
now
so hot.
I actually now I'm like, okay, this is hot. All right.
It's so hot.
I don't have kids. I'm okay. I'm a proud divorcee.
Hell yeah.
Thankful. But you know what? It made me it's not to go back to the summer I turned pretty, but I'm going back to the
Please.
summer I turned pretty. But
Always.
I was so triggered watching this last episode with the idea of her potentially not going to Paris to stay with Jeremiah and all this stuff, because I immediately thought, oh my God, I was in this relationship at her age, and then which ended in me getting married and then me getting divorced. And a lot of that has to do also with you have no self-identity.
Yeah.
So you're literally in this sort of cycle with what's comfortable and what and not sort of expanding or moving or changing or evolving. And then all of a sudden for me, I was 30 years old and I was like, I'm divorced and scared and broke and I have no idea who I am. And then you have to sort of refine that out, which has been such a journey, but it triggered me. I was like, go to Paris.
You're like, go to Paris, bitch. No, totally. But isn't that so crazy too? Because yeah, I'm like imagining you at 30 being like, what the fuck? Like everything I thought I knew about where my life was going to go is no longer, and having to start over in a lot of ways. But then also like where you are today is so inspiring, and you're in just such a beautiful, amazing, empowered place. And it's as woo-woo as it sounds, it really does all work out. Like making the hard, scary, but sometimes necessary choice is like the only way to get to that next level.
It's the only way, and I'm the first to tell you and the first to admit it. My life has been messy, so messy, and but as hard as sometimes things get, we survive 100% of we've survived 100% of our bad days, and I think you just have to sort of learn and grow. And I don't want to say embrace them. I don't know if embrace the mess is the right way to put it, because I don't mean like stay in it, live in it.
Totally.
But when it gets messy, I've been through so many periods where it takes me down so hard, but when you come out of it, it's like really feels as like you're like the idea of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly.
Yes.
It really is that sort of thing.
Yeah. And it's like, I think there's also so much power in like what you did with your show, which is like taking your own skeletons out of your closet and being like, look, guys, look at these skeletons. Aren't these fucking crazy? As opposed to hiding them away and like letting that shame eat away at you. Because as you saw with audiences at your show, it's like more people can relate to the mess than things being perfect. And I think it's just like being brave enough to be the one that's like, okay, I fucked up. Anyone else? So that everyone's like, oh, thank God, I fucked up too.
Right.
You know?
You
make it safe.
And that's the thing, is that I feel like you have talked about deeply personal things
Hell yeah.
in your life too. And so that is to me where you connect with the creativity for me and the art of whatever, whether it's acting, whether it's comedy, whether it's all of it, whether it's social media, all of it, is that the authenticity is so important. I think that connection with people is what bonds us all, is that we're all over here like ripping each other's heads off for anything at this point. To think we all have the same beating heart, and we are truly all, in many ways, they're so similar, but we're just hiding behind things. We're so full of shame, and what are people going to think and say? It's like, I'm so fuck it, who the fuck cares?
Who cares?
You know, if you're a good person with a good heart, and people make mistakes, people go through life, you gotta let shit go, you know, and you gotta, who cares what other people think, and releasing that, I think, is like the best thing ever. And it's a work in progress. I'm not saying that it's all the time that I feel that way. I care, obviously. We all care, but ultimately, I think that when you start getting to the point where you're like, oh, okay, I'm just going to do this, and then I'll deal with the voices in my head telling me that
later.
Yeah, I'll be like, we'll deal with this later.
Yeah, go away, get out of here.
Yes.
So true. This has been truly such a life-giving conversation. I have one last question for you before we wrap it up.
Okay,
so you're famously good at celebrity impressions.
I am.
So no, you literally are. You're Jennifer Coolidge in our acting class. I voice memoed you about it like literally less than a month ago, probably.
Wait, hold on.
What?
I'm not letting you do this. So wait, I am going to tell you that Hannah sent me the most iconic Jennifer Coolidge impression via voice note, and I literally was walking and laughed out loud so hard, and I kept the voice note, saved it in our chat because it's fucking amazing.
I'm honored.
Okay, that's all. Sorry.
Well, Nicole did Jennifer Coolidge's monologue from White Lotus season 1 with the mom's ashes, where she's like, oh, mother, my mother was a real jerk, or whatever she says. And I literally was like crying, laughing all of class. And I thought of it. Yeah, I think like within the last 1 or 2 months. And I was like, Nicole, sorry, I just randomly thought of this. But kill, fuck, marry, 3 of your most iconic celebrity impressions: Jennifer Coolidge, Rambo, aka Miranda Hobbs, and Just Like That, and Anne Kalma Hathaway.
Oh God. Okay. So wait. So cool. So wait. Who'd you say? You said Rambo,
Jennifer Coolidge, Anne Hathaway Kalma,
and Anne Hathaway Kalma. Okay. This is so hard. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm going to fuck Rambo.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, I'm going to fuck Rambo. I'm going to kill Kalma. I'm going to kill Anne Hathaway.
You have to.
And I'm going to marry Jennifer Coolidge. Right?
I don't think there's another way.
There's not another way.
There's not another way forward. I think Kalma, she brings this upon herself.
Totally.
With her behavior.
And Rambo, it's like, I can't marry Rambo because it's just too much. But like, I bet you she's probably a good time in bed.
I mean, I think Rambo and Che Diaz had a very healthy sex life.
Extremely. They
Super
were
healthy.
Really into it.
They were going at it. By the way, last question for you. Have you read the book Credence?
No, but it's so funny that you say this. Is it amazing? Because I need a new book.
It is so insane. And I've been reading, listeners, you know, I've been reading this for like 6 months. I'm a very slow reader. I'll go like a month without reading and then just like pick it back up. Listeners, page 352 through the rest of the chapter, I literally was like, oh my, it's pure smut. And it's like kind of on another level of unhinged, but like I'm having a great time.
Okay, I'm going to get it. I'm going to read it. And then you and I are going to discuss it just like the summer I turned pretty.
Yes. Oh, can't wait. Nicole, thank you so much for coming on.
Anna, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. And I'm honored to be here always.
I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. Will you please let my listeners know where they can find you?
Yes, please. It's Nicole Travolta on TikTok and Instagram, and my show is also going back to New York City for a full off-Broadway run, and we'll announce details soon. So if anyone wants to come,
I'm gagged. Oh my God. Not Aspirational listener meetup in New York. You heard it here first.
No, seriously, should you come to New York and do I don't know. I'm just saying. Just
A one-woman cabaret.
or like something podcast. I don't know.
No.
I'm manifesting something. We just don't know what it is yet.
Oh my God. I love that. Congratulations. That's so incredible. Mazel tov. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Listeners, thank you for listening. If you love the podcast, leave it a rating and a review. Follow me at Hannah Aaron Brown on everywhere, Instagram, TikTok, etc. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you soon. Bye.